Yes, 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 yes. We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back, guys.
It feels like we were just here yesterday, or is it just me?
It does.
It's not just
It
you.
does. It does. Imagine if we were doing this every day.
Right?
Right?
I would be sick of y'all by now.
That's a lie.
Just a little bit of us, not too much.
That is a lie.
Listen. Oh my God, it's another Thursday. Welcome, guys. Welcome to Two Cents. Oh,
Welcome to Two Cents, guys.
Shelly Live. Shelly
Woo.
Live. Like,
Share it, share it, sharing is
share
caring.
oh, I love Selena on the live balling. Share the live. Share the live.
She's not asking.
OMG.
She tells
OMG. Share the live.
I'm very loud about it.
it.
Yes. Yes. Just share the live. And yeah, the end. I'm trying to figure out I'm trying to put our names at the bottom. So
And all faces. And
just for
all
a second.
faces.
What happened?
I'm only seeing myself.
How?
We see you. All of us are here. Don't worry. All of us are here with you.
where where we were supposed to see your face? Like,
But I don't see it all you.
We see
I don't
you.
know. We see you.
And we see us three.
So you guys see all three of us.
Yes.
Yup.
Oh, that's a bit crazy.
I think
I
the
cannot
camera is
take
trying
you.
to tell you we just want to see you, Selena. The camera doesn't want to see the rest
Your
of us.
camera wants to only see you. You are so freaking vain.
And now here's the camera. Her camera is vain.
Your camera is vain. I love it. Girl love herself. The camera understands the assignment too. Apparently.
Guys, no, this is not. Like, I want to see you guys. I want to see you all.
But we've seen you and you
No,
like
it's for her. It's like for her peace of mind. She wants to see us. She wants to see our beautiful faces. Maybe you should log out and come back in. Hop back in.
Yeah, because this is not giving.
welcome one and all. We
Yeah.
up to 66 people on the live. We want to get this show started. You see, Nick, Annika says she sees you. Okay, she sees you.
Now I see all three of us. Very
Like,
nice.
good.
Keep them
So,
apart.
so pretty, yes. Now,
Oh my God. Okay, I am like extremely almost exhausted. So just to kind of give you guys a run of the last 24 hours. Um, over the last 24 hours, I spent 12 hours of that driving. Yeah.
Road trip.
Yeah. So I did a bit of a road trip yesterday. Drove from Toronto to Montreal and back. So I just got back to Toronto a little while ago, and not even like an hour ago, less than an hour ago. So if I look like I falling asleep, no, I
You
promise
look
I will
fine. You look fine.
fall
Even if
asleep
you're
on y'all.
feeling tired, you don't look it. You look great.
Yeah,
you
but it
look
was
great.
awesome. It was an awesome trip. What I want to know from folks is, like, because I'm like, I did this and I'm like, boy, I could do this again, but not Montreal, like probably somewhere else. um like probably like spend the summer like doing, I know, recall, yeah, you spoke to me a little bit about, when you were a kid, you guys used to do a lot of like road trips and stuff. I don't know, Stelina, did you guys do any road trips? Like, I know you do a lot of like not road trip, but her face, adventure trips, not necessarily road trips.
Well,
um
I have done a few road trips in the US. The worst 24 hours from Texas to New York, and I will never ever do it
That is
again.
a road trip. Texas is huge. So that's a lot of driving to get out of Texas before you even see another state. So wow.
were you a
24
driver
hours.
or just a passenger?
We interchanged. We
Well, let
interchanged.
me
We
tell you,
stopped
I
in
wish
a
somebody was interchanging with me on those
mm,
12 hours.
we
If we were
stopped in a
on that trip, we couldn't switch places. Don't worry. You would have
Yeah,
tag
we
team.
could, but no. I'm not doing the road trips again. I'm done. That's it. Flying.
I mean, what I love about the road trips is the scenic aspect of
Yeah.
it because you get to see, and I remember like when I was younger, like the last time I did a trip to that drive, I was much younger. And I just remember doing it with my cousins, doing it with and at the time I was not the driver, but just remember doing it with my grand uncle and stuff. And I'm trying to like place things that I remember, like, oh, let's look for that barn house. Like there was a special barn house I would always like look out for. It's like one of those big old time barn house that is in some township, and I was looking for it, and so that was kind of fun, like just like even like me driving, yesterday I was like looking for it, and when I saw it I was like, oh my god, it's still there. I'm like, and in my mind for a quick second I was like, Maria didn't get rid of it, and I'm like, Jael, you're not in Dominica, you didn't get it.
Not Maria.
I was like,
Not
girl,
Maria.
for a second, my brain was like, wait a minute, Maria didn't do nothing to it. Like you,
Not
like,
Maria.
like a
Did
good
not right.
stupid. And my brain was like, recalibrate, you're in Canada.
A glitch in the matrix.
Apparently. So yeah, but the worst thing about driving to Montreal, minus the fact that I had that glitch of demography, but everything is in French, so I have to like read it out loud before I'm like,
And then
oh yeah, I'm
translate.
going left.
No, I'm done with road trip. Unless if it's like with a group of people, the drive has to be within like 5 hours. Nothing more than 5 hours. I'm not doing it. That
That's a
24-hour
part of the
drive.
adventure.
I'm traumatized. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know about the 24-hour road trip. My cousin wants to go to New York in September, and she don't like driving on the highway, so I suspect I'm going to be the designated driver, and I'm about to like try and skid it out of my way out of that because I'm like, I am not doing this drive alone. Like I need to have
Yeah.
another driver in order to do this again. Like
Yeah,
or
it's
any
probably not
other.
going to be fair for one person to be the designated driver the entire time, no matter how long the duration is. It's probably better, and it will be a lot more fun if there are at least two people who are switching in and out.
Yeah, I see folks coming on talking about the road trip. Let us know what road trips you've been on. Like, what was your favorite road trip? Stelina is like, I'm not about that. That
I've
No.
seen some people
24-hour.
talking about Texas.
I think Stelina is more of the adventure trip kind of gal.
You know what? I want to like no, I want to be able to sit in the passenger side and pull up my camera, pull up my phone. I want to record the entire trip. Let's just go. But the driving, no, get somebody else to do it. No.
I
I
don't
I'd
don't
mind
mind
rather
me
driving
two
for a
hours,
little bit.
me 2 hours, another person 2 hours, and me switch. I don't
I,
mind.
I agree. I agree with Corley. I'm with you on
no.
that. I don't mind switching back and forth. Like probably when we get to a rest stop, it
Yeah,
becomes, your turn, and then we switch up and stuff. Because you get to drive, but here joke though, like yesterday was today I should say was the very first time I actually used cruise control on my car.
Oh, that's the worst.
how was that? I've never done it.
Let me tell you. So I'm on the phone with my boyfriend, and he's like, "Girl, just get to the speed that you want to be, and just." I'm like, "I don't know if I want to do that, my friend." He's like, "You driving for how many years?" So I finally used cruise control, and I was like, "What I stupid way! All the time I could have been doing this thing." So you just get to the speed, and you just click, and then you just take your foot off, like you're not pressing like the
Yeah,
accelerator. The full. Imagine having your foot on that accelerator like all the
the
time
entire
until
time.
you
Yeah.
go back and forth. So I was cracking my toes in between. I was like, okay, I can do this again. Yeah.
No. My
I was
sister swears by cruise control. She's like, oh, just put
look,
it in cruise control and let the car drive it. No, no, we're
no,
not
you
doing
see me? I think I'm stuck in the pre-technology mode because I'm still scared to put my phone under the water. Even knowing that even knowing that nothing will happen. And I was just like, I don't know what cruise control. Like a car driving for me, like all I have to do is stare. Like I don't know about that.
In the
No,
back of my
I'm not.
mind, I'd be a bit paranoid about it.
No, I want to know that I am in control. My foot is on the gas pedal, and it's all me doing that. I'm in control.
I think some people are
That's
dropping like where they've done their road trips.
that's how I
Yes,
want to feel.
let's see what folks are saying. Oh, your sister is saying she loves cruise control. Yes, Chicago to Miami. Al says he's done Chicago to Miami. For me, they invent cruise control. I can be going. Somebody saw me. I can be going to Walmart. I cruise in.
It's
So
quick.
Carmel's like, I use cruise control. Like, let me. I was afraid. I was good afraid. I was like,
Exactly. It feels
why?
weird.
If you're
No,
What
tired,
if
I know if I'm tired, I
um
wouldn't want to use it.
Texas to Alaska? La Senvege.
Wait, wait, wait.
what?
Texas to Alaska.
Alaska, Atlanta.
You
I
hear?
just
Are
need
you
to be clear.
Alaska? I'm positive it's Alaska because that person, I know that person, and that person used to live in Alaska. Texas to
Whoa.
Alaska is
I want to know
like,
how long that took. If they could let us know
oh,
how long that took, wow.
woo, that just
There's
sounds like,
there's New York to North Carolina.
Hmm.
mm-hmm.
That's
It
not bad.
depends on where you're going.
We used to
New
do New
York,
No,
York to Atlanta and Florida when I was a kid
North Carolina
during the
to Atlanta.
summers.
Carolina to Atlanta isn't far.
Yeah.
Like it's a couple hours, but not that far.
mm-mm.
Um, somebody says when I get my Tesla, I sleeping on the driving because I hate to drive. Gas up. So I'm afraid for Tesla. And and I was like, you don't afraid that he just like decides to like
Not drive.
no,
Nope. 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 Not the
I
eye.
am I in
I'm
that
convinced
instance,
I'll be
I am
that one where the
so
car just crashes. No, I'll be that one. Knowing my luck.
uh-uh.
I'm not doing
Mm-mm.
it. Sorry.
I will never let a Tesla drive me anywhere.
Never, never.
Never.
No,
Never. Right?
Never.
it's not going to
So
happen.
no, it's like today we stopped at one of the rest stops and they had Tim Hortons, Popeyes, and A&W, and I went to go up to the Popeyes thing to order, right? And the guy's like, go to the kiosk to order. So I'm like, Mister, but my brother, you have like a cash register there, like just take my order, like there's nobody else there. Anyways, I like my good obedient self. I go up there and whatever. And when it come to pay, the thing stick and it's not working. So man's get vexed. I'm about to pop up like my Dominican like thing. So he says, try another one. I say, my brother, I not trying another one. I want this an order with you. And then I got into this conversation with somebody else who was waiting for their order about, like technology has completely taken over to the point where nobody wants to interact
Interact.
with people anymore. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know what if, like they start getting robots now to like prepare the chicken at Popeyes
It's
and they put
coming.
much extra pepper.
It's
And I'm just
coming.
like, I am not for that. You know why I'm not for, you know how my protest, my silent protest is when I go to Walmart line, I line up. I don't use self checkout at all.
Same.
Like
Same.
I'm like, and I tell when I'm there, I'm loud about it too. I'm like, everybody come in the line because that way we will not get rid of people. So I'm like, I'm making my own, and I'm like, everybody get in line. The more people in the line, they'll get another cashier to cash. I hate self checkout. Self checkout is like for
Same.
one, two
I don't
things,
mind it.
and
I
that's
don't do
it.
self checkout.
I don't
I
mind it
hate
at all.
self checkout. No.
So
Nope. Not doing
The
it.
first time I did it, I was like, okay, what am I doing? But after you get the hang of it, it's fine. But you're saying like talking about robots and all of that. I actually did see a headline today saying that America actually approved the development of chicken being developed through cell usage or something like that, like manufactured chicken, and it actually was approved to be sold in stores. So you
so
talking about
pretty soon
Well,
we're gonna
robots
be
and self
we're gonna be
checkout?
eating
Your food
plastic.
is gonna be is almost it's gonna be fake now and manufactured. So
uh,
the entire series Black Mirror like is popular for a reason. It's like literally predicting the future. We're living in the Black Mirror era right now.
no. I'm good. Get somebody else to eat it.
Get somebody else to make it, get somebody else to eat it. We're
Yes.
gonna get the show on the road. This is a
You know
real
that
easy. This
that
is a
that thing.
easy show, right? We were just running our mouth because we always want to give our 2 cents about everything under the sun, and we're so happy that you guys could join us and chime in as well and put in your comments. Thank you so very much. Ethan's supposed to be joining us. I don't know where he is. He said he was having some issues connecting, but Ethan, whenever you come on, I will see you. Just stay on. And I can get you in on the conversation with us. But so today we're going to be talking about a few things, female relationships. We're going to be diving into this a little bit. We also want to talk about dirty laundry, and that's not necessarily the laundry that you put in the washing
Washing
machine.
machine.
We're going to be talking about um, sleeping in separate rooms from partners. Mm-mm-mm. We're going to be talking about one some, two some, free sums. We're going to be talking, and then some. We're going to be talking about so many things today and giving our 2 cents, our views, and we hope that you guys will chime in and we hope that you guys will share the live and we hope that you guys will tag a friend, especially if it relates to you. You can relate to the conversation. You got to bring a friend in so you could say, you remember when I was telling you that, this is the 2 cents. So make sure you comment. We love that you guys are coming on. We see a lot of professionals, and when I say professionals, like people in the um, um, professional careers coming on, and we want to be able to also incorporate you to the show. And we'll be reaching out to some of you over the next couple of weeks to kind of get your views and also our top fans. We see the top fans, we know who they are. We're going to be also reaching out to you. Thank you very much to the top fans because we have something special. Obviously, we want to include as many people as we can on the show. If you don't know who I am, Jael Joseph, my lovely co-host joining us every single week, Stellina Blue and Ricolia. Well, Stellina Blue is native of Dominica, and Ricolia is from Trinity Bone. So joins us every single week, and we're so glad that you guys can have us. And we hope that you want us to stay, because if you don't want us to stay, then you cannot go, and then we'll just go.
Exactly.
If you want us to stay, make sure you share the live because we want to stay as long as you want us to stay. Nanny McPhee says something. I don't know if you guys watch Nanny McPhee. You are when you are wanted, you must go. When you are needed, you must stay. So if you don't need us, I mean, then you want us, then we got other things. We have to move on and do other things. So we hope that you guys love the show and you want us to remain, because this is a pilot and we want to continue to do this. But if it's not making any sense, then we would have to give our 2 cents and leave, right?
See what you
So
did
share the
there.
live. Yes, make sure you share the live. Make sure you tag someone. If you're in broadcast groups, if you have chat groups that you talk in, share it in there because we want to be able to continue to do this show, but we can only
Right.
do it with you, right?
We can only do with you guys.
Yes, that's right. So we want to get this show on the road. Our first topic of conversation, and this is something that we couldn't help but um it was an unhealthy healthy conversation. We started when we started talking about female friendships and it being able to have a level of longevity to it, and we are all in different age ranges, and I think we can give various perspectives on friendships and how we value friendships, or what we think of friendships in terms of how long we need to be in friendships and what's important to us about friendships. But we want to specifically talk about female friendships, because female friendships can be I know people who say, oh, it's hard for me to have female friends, oh, I don't feel these hoes are loyal, or like they've
Right.
said so many different things about female friendships. I've had some really like solid friendships, um particularly my friendships in Canada. I mean, I've had friendships throughout. my childhood, people that are still my friends, like people like Anna and Leanne and Medalia are still my friends. Like they were my friends from, and Leah and DJ Spawner. DJ Spawner is my longest friend. We've been friends since we were 3, right?
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a long time friend.
That's a very long time. And so I've had some really, really long friendships. But I find like even like sometimes, there's this saying about no new friends. I found it hard to bring in new friendships because there is an expectation that you are supposed to invest time. And one of the biggest things for me is that I am at a curve with my career, and it's very difficult for me to invest in time. And you find that in order to feed that friendship, you are forced to kind of like for example, like you fall in asleep and you're supposed to go out for drinks because this person probably wants to hang out. And I'm just not about that life, and I'm at the stage where I'm like, okay, I don't think we can be friends. Like,
Right.
what do you guys think? What are your thoughts on friendships
I feel the
and female
same way.
friendships?
Yeah, like I feel like your friendships are supposed to serve you in some kind of way. Some, like along your journey, like you said, your career might take a curve, and you may have to let go of certain people because they just do not get it. Like we're not about to be going out every Friday, every Saturday, every weekend doing the most, no. And one thing I have, well, my friends and I, one thing we try to do is to go on dates. Like we set times and we're like, okay, hey, so what are you doing on Wednesday at 2 p.m.? Are you up for a lunch? And I'm like, yeah, we go out to lunch, we have lunch, dinner, brunch, even breakfast, coffee time, whatever can work for us at the time on that specific day. We see if we can, get that out of the way, and we go out, we sit, we talk, we catch up, and we know that's how we do things from here on. We know, like from now on,
That
okay,
is a lot of energy, though. That's a lot of
it's
energy.
not really. I mean, it's not something that we say, okay, like we go on a date like every, but it's something we try. Like it's just a way to just, especially if it's a friendship that you value. And it's like, okay, like I know you're busy doing this, you know I'm busy doing that, but what's Wednesday looking like for you at 2 p.m.? Let's have lunch.
Well, I'm a bad friend,
You
because
know that
I
kind of
am
thing?
Well,
not.
I think
I
no, I
I
think I think
can't.
it depends on the nature of your friendship. So if let's say for Selena and her friends, like they all have busy schedules, but they're like, you know what, we can't commit to one Saturday a month to like just go like on a little lunch date or like a brunch or whatever, like that can work for them, but
Yeah,
maybe jail
do
for
that.
you
My friends and I do
based
that
on
a lot.
your friends, like however you guys need to connect. Your connection could be a Zoom call, bi-monthly or monthly, whatever, and just like a glass of wine and be like, hey, so what's going on with the kids, the man,
Mm-hmm.
this life, whatever. So I think it depends on the that friendship and what could work for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I think the underlying thing is the understanding within that friendship. I've come to realize personally that people value friendship in different ways. People have different needs when it comes to friendships. So for me personally, from the time I started working in media, I'm no longer like directly working in digital media anymore. But from that time till now, because my schedule is essentially not my own, um, I have no longer been in a position as much to be like, all right, well, I can do this on a Saturday and this and the other. And I've gotten really bad. It's not like I'm something I'm proud of, but I've gotten really bad at following up on messages, for example, right?
Oh, we know,
And
we
some
know,
people
we
have,
know,
some
we know.
people, including friends, which surprised me, some people, including friends, have taken offense to, like, they sometimes think like I'm ignoring them intentionally. Like strangers, when they say that kind of crap, when I say strangers, I mean people, acquaintances, I don't really take them seriously when they're like, "Oh, you ignore me and this and the other." Like, no. But for friends, I tend to get a bit surprised because it's like, I genuinely sometimes forget. Like in the way the day goes, sometimes like I'm in go mode, and even when I'm winding down, like I don't sometimes I'll just go back to my messages and this and the other. And I always tell people, if you need to get on to me, you can call, and just say, "Hey, I sent you a message. Respond when you can," and this and the other.
But
Um,
Ricordia, some people might say that if you value our friendship, you should prioritize it. Like you should
No.
you, you should
First
you
of
should have.
but I also think it's a two-way street as well, right? So
all,
it's in the same way like in a relationship, like as in a partner relationship, whether it's man and man woman, whatever, you have to work at it, and there will come points during that relationship where you guys are not seeing eye to eye, and you need to like make that time, I guess, to make it work. I think as opposed to jumping to the immediate conclusion and saying you're ignoring me and you're not invested in this friendship anymore, or you don't care about me, I think the first step would be to be like, hey, I'm kind of feeling slighted right now. I'm feeling as if, our friendship isn't what it used to be. I get that you're busy. What can we do to, make this work? You know, I've gone a
that's
lot
only
of times where people jump to the conclusion of you just don't want to be my friend anymore. And it's like, and then sometimes the people don't really understand what's going on the other end of the person. I myself, beyond work, like there have been a lot of times, especially like in recent times, I have been, just going through it. I've had like some personal things that I've been dealing with. So like the last thing I want to do, or I'm in a mental space to be in, is kikiing and be like, hey, so you see what happened on Shade Room and this and the other. You understand what I'm saying? Or wanting to go out for brunch or lineman or even like talking to people. It happens.
Ethan joins us. Ethan is joining us. Hello, Ethan.
Ah,
Please.
hi, good night, everyone. Sorry for the late join. It's not my
That's
fault.
okay.
No,
You're
Brett trying to
fine.
just mess me up.
That's
what's up,
okay.
Ethan?
That's okay. We're talking
I'm
about
good,
friendships.
Nicole. How are you
Hi.
guys? Hi,
Good, good.
Selena. Hi,
How's
You realize
going?
Joey.
what's
Hi.
happened here, right? Stolina and I are rocking some yellowish vibes, and
And
Jael and
then
Ethan are bluing it out. What is happening?
We're blowing it
I
out.
like
Yes.
it. I like it a lot.
We're
So,
We
looking
were,
forward
we're
to it.
Ethan, we were actually talking about of like friendships, specifically girl friendships, and probably you could chime in and give us your views in terms of maintaining friendships.
Mm.
Because I personally,
Hmm.
both Ricolia and I are saying that we find it hard. And Ricolia more or less because of her career. Me, I am because I'm doing so many different things. I ain't got time for. I have like kids, and people sometimes don't realize like I'm helping my kids with homework on online. I'm also preparing work that I'm doing, like working for multiple companies, and man's is busy, and not every time we can get back to responding to messages on time, or even setting up like there are friends that I have not hung out with in a very long time for whatever reason, whether it is we're in a different country, or it's just the time does not permit us, our schedules. But you know what the worst is for me though is the friends. The worst is the friends that say we don't do things, but they never initiate because they know you have time and I'm busy. Like, you have time, I'm busy.
The
Try and
high main,
initiate.
the
And
high maintenance friends. That's the worst for me. You see the high maintenance ones where you and I spoke on, maybe let's say we had a conversation full blown Monday, and then you hit me up on Thursday and like, girl, what you doing? I don't hear you for the week. Where you? Me and you have noise, man. No, we're not doing that. We
Why
just
is that
spoke on
always an
Monday.
immediate conclusion, though?
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah.
cannot
We
handle. Why is that the
just
clearest
spoke on
conclusion?
Monday. I'm not doing that.
And then I
I'm
have
not.
some other friends who, because they also have lives as well, like they would message and they wouldn't hear from me. And when I do randomly reply, like 3 weeks after, and I say, I'm so sorry, they're like, Gil, things going on too. We have lives to live. It's fine. I know, I get it. It's fine. I
No, but really,
appreciate people like that.
there are some friendships that you value, and there are some friendships that you actually, you actually want to do the hanging out, you actually want to do the catching up, but you both do not have. Like, for example, I have this my best friend Elka. Oh my god, Elka is always busy. I am always busy. I know, like sometimes I just have to be the one to message Elka, like, hey, what you doing after work? I'm coming to pick you up. You bring in Kimani, we're going on the beach. And that's how we meet and we see. We sit, we talk about things we probably missed out on for like a month, and then we move on to life. She goes back to working, taking care of her son, and I go back to doing other things, and life goes on. And we might have to do that a couple of times because we both get it. Like,
Yeah.
we have things going on. We are adults. Like, come
well,
on.
I wish all of my friends would get it,
We need to hear from
because
Ethan,
all of
though.
them
Well,
don't. I have some really good ones. Ethan, yeah, yeah. Ethan, tell
let
us.
me
Ethan,
use
you're
my
supposed to be
pers-
telling us. Is he gone?
Ethan, are
Is
you
it
with
me?
us?
Okay,
I think he
silence.
froze.
He froze out.
Oh
Okay,
no.
on that note, though, on that note, I just want, because I know why Ethan's having issues logging on. There's some internet issues going on specifically in the islands,
Mm,
and I just want to kind of reach out to a lot of the folks who are on the live or just in Dominica, Saint Lucia, and the other islands that tune into the show, where they're experiencing inclement weather because there's a hurricane, a
yeah.
storm. Some have storm watch, some is experiencing storm warnings and stuff. And I know Ethan wants to be here, and I know they're having issues. The internet keeps dropping and all of these, but like people. I just want to first of all say, my heart goes out to you guys. I was actually writing a caption earlier on that, um like, we just cannot handle hurricane season. Like, why hurricanes can't go somewhere else? Like, why is it they just can't just go somewhere else? Because in the islands, we really and truly, we contribute the least to this climate change
Yeah.
bullshit, and we experience it
The
like
brunt,
every.
the
But
word.
it's not just the brunt of it. It's the fact that every June I get so much bad anxiety because of freaking hurricanes.
Yeah.
Like, I get so much anxiety between June and November, especially if you're away from your family. It's like
Yeah.
you don't know anything can happen. So I'm just, saying a prayer for all my friends and family and all the friends and loved ones of those of us here on the show who
Yeah.
have friends, and family across especially the Eastern Caribbean, where they're experiencing weather system Brett, I think it's called,
Right. Right
Right.
now, yeah.
Yeah.
Hurricane Brett.
It's supposed to
So
pass
I
away soon.
Yes. So I mean, we probably should have said that at the start of the show, but it's better late than never, because not that I forgot, it was at the top of my mind. But coming from traveling, again,
It's fine.
it happens. So I just
It's
wanted to just say that, and I know that's why Ethan's having issues. So we're not trying to make an excuse this week, for it. And obviously, if things don't work out where he's unable to connect, we'll always have him on again. So he's back, I think.
ah
Are you there?
fantastic.
Yeah, I'm here. Like I said, the Brett is trying to mess things up for a lot of us. I'm getting a lot of messages, that I by digital. Now everybody wants to know what's going on.
Yes.
So
Say
this
less. Say
Brett is
less.
trying to mess things up for us, right? So let me just say my 2 cents before it cuts off again. Let's talk about friendship, right? So I have this best friend, Makiba, right? And she's very understanding with our relationship, and I'm very understanding with her as well because she has her life. She's doing her Makiba thing. I'm doing my Ethan thing, right? Um, there will be maybe, I mean, not weeks, but there'll be like weeks we haven't spoken. And when we do meet up, we'll be like, hey, what's up? Like, all love, like, nothing never changed. Like, you swear we even living in the same house again because we used to stay together. It's like, all we do is like a normal catch up, debriefing, if you will, on what happened
Yes.
for the time period that we weren't together. So, and then there's just the other people that be like, oh, Miani doesn't talk, that friendship not working out. But you need to understand, like, you have your life, I have my life. We can never always sync up with the things that you want to do or that I want to do. We need to literally plan if we have any type of thing to go to in advance. So if then we make our appointment and it's cancelled or not held up to, then that's on you. But besides that, the everyday meet, the everyday
Life
message, the
goes
everyday
on.
flow cannot work out for me personally. If you're not a strong one, then me and you, we cannot link. So that's
My
how I can be.
sentiments.
Not
My
jail.
sentiments.
Sounds like jail. If you're not strong, cannot happen. Can't work.
Honestly, like, so I have like friends, like my Canadian friends, because I've lived in different places, different times. I say I've lived three lives, right? Like, literally, like, I've lived three completely full lives. But my friends in Canada, like, they were like, we I got to spend most of my teenagers, which is kind of like when you get in trouble. This is the time when you get the most trouble. And my friends from my teen, like my friends like Ayanda and Shamila, like these girls, like they know what time it is. Like we've all, Sham is married, Ayanda has a daughter, you know, I have two kids, but we cannot talk for like months. Sometimes, when I tell you months, like sometimes we go through months without speaking to each other. But when we pick up the phone, it's
What time passed?
like what time passed? Like
Exactly. I know that.
I'm almost like I almost feel like if we talked, if we spoke every month, like we'd be bored with each other because it just feels like, you know, we never skipped a beat, like nothing. I mean, lately what I've been doing is trying, especially with certain friendships, because I believe you must cherish certain friendships because, again, there are different dynamics to all
To
friendships,
all friendships. Yep.
right? And some you have to maintain in a different way. And I try to put on schedule, you know, like I try to literally put in my calendar, call so and so, you know, check up on so and so, because for whatever reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel like some people need to just be understanding that we can't always feed. Okay, I have this one friend, we speak like almost every other day, if not every day. But it's not a friendship that needs energy. You know, like when you like, so she'll send me some stupid joke and she'll call me and she'll be like, "Boy, you're gonna say that," you know, and we'll laugh and we'll talk, we'll scream, and she'll be like, "I'm screaming," and we hang up the phone and we finish. That's the conversation, you know, like that's the whole conversation.
And that's all that's needed.
Right? And even sometimes, like when we're under the trip, she called me and she called me video because obviously she probably have a joke she had to give me and she want me to see her face because she probably screaming when she giving the joke, right? And I'm just like, I had to like ignore the call. But I ignore the call, but I know it's something she called to tell me. So I call her because you know that's the kind of friendship we have, right? You can't have that with everybody.
You can.
And and it's so hard to maintain a relationships of, and especially those sometimes, you know, you have those friends that they require a lot of energy and they're a little bit depressing. So it's like,
So
what?
heavy.
I think some friendships evolve over time though, and what you may have had at the start of your friendship may not be what it is 3, 4, 5 years from now. And sometimes that's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it is what it is. I've had friendships that I have outgrown or they would have outgrown me. There's no negativity behind it. So with it, it's just that, you know, we have gone in different directions in our lives. There's no love lost. It's just that that person would have served a purpose for a very particular point in time and it's time to move on, and vice versa, you know, for me in their life as well. So I think sometimes looking at it in terms of not just nurturing, but also understanding when, just like partnerships, when some friendships may have run its course. It's not always, always have to be negative, doesn't always have to be bad blood. It's just sometimes they have run its course.
Well,
And it is what
shout
it
out
is.
to my friends who get it. Shout out to my friends who understand. Shout out to my
Yes,
Elsa,
yes. Shout out to
Tracy.
the
Same, same.
friends.
Shout out to Jessia, Ezra, Kay. Like they get it. Like if we don't
They get
hear
it.
from you, and you know what, they were not always like this. I feel like at some point they were kind of like spoiled before I actually had to be like, hey, listen, i- we
You kind
have
of
to
had to,
like,
you had to get them in
yes,
order.
yes.
Like we
I
have.
have to be like, yo, guys, I love you guys to them. But and even them too, like they like stuff started going on them, and we just had to understand that that's how it is. So shout out to my babies. Like I love you guys so much. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for
Speaking
the
of shelling
date.
out, let's get to the chat. Let's see what folks are saying. D Sugar is saying jail Tad break her heart. Like D and I, we have like this, like we don't talk for like forever, but she'll send me like a picture or she'll send me a comment, and I would not care what time it is. I see it. Like if I see it at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm calling D. I'm calling her. I'll call her, and we'll talk, and we probably will not talk for like how long again, you know. So big up Joshua. Joshua is saying if he doesn't get me, he doesn't care. He's he doesn't care. You know, Joshua. Folks are actually tag your friends. Yeah, tag your true friends. You know. Bev is saying some are leaves and some are branches, but few are roots.
Poetry.
Mm.
Girl,
Right.
that's a message, man. Yes,
Hmm.
yes. I love
Some
this. I
leaves,
really,
some are branches, but few are roots.
yes.
Few.
Fact.
That one take me.
Facts.
That one take me.
That one there, few are
Annotated.
roots.
Yes.
Few are roots.
Fewer roots.
Uh-huh.
So folks are commenting underneath. Um, Curvely saying, well, I suspect I'm the issue because I just cut people off so fast. Once you do me something I wouldn't do you, I don't have time. I passing you straight.
She don't have the patience.
Oh my
Yeah.
god,
Oh,
like
oh Lord, help this girl. Lord, help this girl.
right, so I mean we really appreciate you guys comments, and I hope that you guys really are able to maintain your friendships, female friendships.
Jael, while we're here, like I just want to like throw this out there. Like this happens to family too and with family too. Cause I have had like cousins that, I have not like I know I've not spoken to them in like forever. But it's not that, we have any issues or I vex with them or we have any beef. It's just that it's so much going on. And it's like cousins,
That
like
is so true.
I love you all to death. But damn, it's I thinking about it now. I have a few cousins who I might need to reach out to tonight because it's
So
been
so here's what I seriously do this, I seriously do this. I open my calendar and I have a list of my bona fides, and I
mm,
just schedule them in. I like call so and so, and I try to schedule them in when I think I might be on the road, like driving, because driving it's so much easier to
It's
fill in that
passive. You
time.
can just focus
You
on the
exactly,
conversation.
yes, yes,
exactly.
yes, yes.
So like especially like on a Mondays when I teach, and I know I'm commuting to or from, I tend to schedule my friend conversations, because in as much as I'm not the type of person who will be able to schedule a brunch like Stellina, or even like it's not gonna happen. Like it will happen when your birthday comes around, maybe, but it's not going to happen um on a monthly basis. It's not good. It
Yeah,
probably
but
might not even
yeah,
happen
no matter
on a
no matter
quarterly.
how you do it, it's still the effort is still there. That's the most
Yeah.
important thing. I think the
True.
brunch or the movie or the party or the trip, whatever, is the secondary element. It's the effort
Hmm.
that's being made to connect with, your person.
Yeah.
So that's more important than anything else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I just want to
True.
encourage folks, if you have really good really people that mean a lot to you, that you really want to hold on to, and it works both ways, eh? It's not just a one-sided kind of a game. All right, it's a what's going
Uh-oh.
on?
What's happening there? Is the brick
a
house
friend
coming down?
a friend I love it. I love it. She's a mess.
She's like,
Anyways,
nope, we're not seeing that. We're not seeing
anyways, so so if you have friendships that maybe are on the fence, or you may be going through turmoil, or they're not really understanding, Selena is dying, you reach out to them, and vice versa. Don't always think that because we're not reaching out and that we don't have time. Try and
Oh
be the one to reach out. Selena, it's okay. I mean, shit happens. We drop off the
it. It
internet. We all
happens.
kinds
It's
of stuff happen
fine.
all the time. That's why I use like a nail. Like I use a nail for mine, so it
girl,
doesn't.
sometimes I use a thumbtacks and I don't know why I chose to use tape today.
Yeah. So that happens. We love it all the same. We're moving
I
along.
mean,
We're
I have
moving
no
along.
background today. You're fine, okay? You're
No, no, no,
fine.
no,
Yeah.
no. I'm getting this together.
She's getting this together. She's getting this together. I think one of the conversations that that has kind of intrigued me following social media over the last couple of days, or I should say probably triggered me, or I don't know if the word is intrigued or triggered, because I think it was a bit of both. Was the back and forth going on with Aokili Simmons, Kimora Simmons, Russell Simmons, like that entire family, and hearing about all of the stuff that they've apparently been going through for years.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in North America. And when I say North America, you say to yourself, oh, they're Americans. But and I don't really want to focus too much energy on their issue, because I believe it is an issue.
Yeah.
My thing is that I was kind of a bit taken aback at how easy it was for them to talk about their problems on social media, like and like just air out their dirty laundry. And I know from a Caribbean perspective, we're a little bit more reserved about these things because we're more like, I don't even my business. Everybody would have to know. Everybody would have to know. Like, and I feel like we want. I feel like we need to give our 2 cents on how much we share, because I see more and more as Caribbean people, we're becoming a little Americanized. So we're now starting to like,
Trini's been Americanized for the longest time. This ain't new. Trinidadian, a lot of Trinidadians like to pride themselves. Like there's a running joke that Trinidad is like the second America. So, but I laughed earlier because when you mentioned, as Caribbean people are a lot more reserved and that sort of thing. I'm laughing because I grew up in the States and I came to Trinidad to live when I was about 13. And I remember my mom definitively telling me on more than one occasion, our business, our family business is our business. Like, do not talk to anyone about our personal stuff, not just her and I, but just general family business, to friends, whoever, boyfriend, whatever the case may be. She was very particular about that.
mm-hmm,
So I'm just remembering, like, I'm just going back to like teenagehood, where I actually used to feel guilty as like telling friends about, like, if my mom and I had a falling, or like feeling guilty in the back of my mind, like I should not be telling a friend this. But then again, I had no one else to talk to because I'm an only child. So
mm-hmm.
it's like something that's like instilled in our brain that we don't air your dirty laundry at the end of the day.
Speaking of Aaron, speaking of Aaron laundry and like Stalin is back. Someone in the chat is asking if it's TS bread that do that.
Right. All
Exactly.
right. So I just want to like, can we just forget this moment?
What
Can we?
moment?
Let's forget this moment and let's get back into the
People
show.
are in the chat screaming.
Back into the show. Let's forget this
My
moment. All
whole
right.
side of
Listen,
my face
sometimes
is
the
hurting me.
production set, things go wrong.
Listen. That's why you guys love the show. We keep it real. We
Forget
100.
forget this moment.
100.
So to Erin family, I could never. First of all, the household that I was born, raised, and grew up in, even if like my family, like we had the slightest disagreement, something I feel like I need to vent, and people I need like the input from outsiders. I couldn't think of that twice. I couldn't even think of sharing or sit in front of my phone on a camera airing my family. No, it uh-uh.
I think in this case, this is two things happening like two dynamics happening at the same time. One, um, yes, of course, they are a celebrity family. So there's that. That's not the dynamic I was talking about. But from a lot of the things that I was reading and seeing about this particular situation, it seems as if um, they being Kimura, Aoki, Mingli, that side of the family, it seems as if like this is something they've been dealing with for quite a
For a
long
long time.
time.
For a
It's
And
like
long
they
we
want
have reached
yeah.
a breaking
breaking
point.
point.
And I
Yeah.
think what has happened as well is Russell Simmons, he has sort of fallen from grace over the last few years as a result of certain allegations. But beyond that, he still has a particular rank, especially in the urban hip hop, world, as this
Community.
mogul, this music
Mm-hmm.
mogul.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very easy for him still to be able to create a particular narrative. So I think based on that rant that was thankfully muted, because that got me agitated without hearing anything, much less hearing it and being on the receiving end of it. I think that something's very specific happened, and uh, Aoki especially reached her breaking limit and decided to air it. And that's the second dynamic in this. And I'm not saying this as like a
An
millennial
excuse.
versus Gen Z kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that Gen Z now they are not in that headspace as much. So when it comes to being wronged and sliced and this and the other, like, they're gonna call us out. And I feel like those kind of like those boundaries where you say we're not gonna bring this up in the outside of the family, I think that was probably lost. And yeah, I think she reached her breaking limits, and I feel like maybe her mother, as a result, seeing the kind of damage that he was doing as well. I think she also provided like that kind of support slash contextual background behind all of this. Because if we just saw that video and nothing else, we just assume like they're in Bacchanal. But it seems as if
Yeah.
it's been going on for some time. So I feel
I,
like this particular situation is not as black and white as just airing out dirty laundry. I feel like they were at their wits' end,
but
and I
So,
empathize.
and I
some
agree with you. I agree with what you're saying, Ricolia. At the same point, though, I'm looking at, even if I was going through it for a
Mm-hmm.
long time,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have the balls to go on
Agreed.
social media
Agreed.
and like go on and off about, because essentially I feel like this, and you are right when you say like Gen Z's are so, like for example my son, like things my son will do, like if he's having a hard time dealing with something, he will just he will not care who's there or who it is he's saying it to. He'll be in school and he'll say, I'm really having a hard time with my mom not being around. And I'm like, bro, why you
A
can't
lot
just
more
call me and tell me
vocal.
that?
Yeah.
You know, like, so it's like he's
The space
I
they've
find
grown
that
up in is to be like they have never grown up in a space where you keep that ish to yourself, you
so
know?
how do we
I
program
feel,
ourselves for
Jael,
that? Because I don't come up
Jael,
with my business.
I feel like that's different, especially for him. He's a child.
No, but I'm using this as when I was his age. If I was going through stuff at home, I would never even talk to my neighbor about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You get what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah,
Much
yeah,
as
yeah.
to go to as a child, I used to get plenty blows, and
Yeah.
you've never
Same.
heard me going
Those, those,
and
those, those, those,
going
those,
and
those.
going and say, well, today my dad like bit the shit out of me. No, like you get what I'm saying? Like this is not something that I would have ever opened my trap about, and I
Right.
feel like now it's like everybody's just out there on social media, and once they have whether it's family related or relationship related,
Anything.
like people just go off on social media and they're always ready to call out somebody
Yeah.
and that sort of stuff.
I think like Russell Simmons and family aside, I agree with you on that, but I also think that kind of speaks to something a bit larger. So like right now, like Russell Simmons, Kimura, and all of them, they're like in another stratosphere to all of us. However, we're still living in a
Wow.
space where everybody technically is a content creator right now, you know. And there was a time where when you, let's say if you were like a celebrity, like there was like a very sharp line between like the celebrities and the rest of us. But now that everyone with a decent phone and camera and has access to all these different platforms, like literally anyone could be a content creator right now. And I feel like a lot of content creators in whatever sphere they're in, I think there's this sort of underlying assumption as well that you also need to get personal. And there's an assumption as well that you, because you're in a more public space, people need to know your business. And there actually is a difference. Like there's some people who are in the public space, whether they're influencers, content creators, celebrities, whatever, and they give you the assumption, or they make you feel as if like you know them and you know very little about them. And then there are others who you know what time they wake up, what they have for breakfast, what time they took a ish, what going on with them and the man, whatever the case may be. And like we're essentially like in a space of oversharing right now. So it is more and more commonplace essentially. And again, when you kind of growing up in that digital space where everybody's business is out there, I could see how someone again like Aoki and Ming Lee would feel more comfortable to air out that kind of dirty laundry.
I want to hit the chat. I want to go in and see what folks are saying, because some interesting perspectives are going on in the chat.
There's actually
Um,
something like that going on at home right now, though, Jill. Like as we speak, I don't know if you saw that video earlier today where this girl came. She was alive. She lives in Antigua. I'm not sure if you've been following the Brian and Anne Marie story. You've heard
no,
of
I have
Brian,
not.
Brian and
I know
Anne.
Brian. Yes.
Okay, but then his girlfriend Anne Marie, her daughter sent for her to come live with them in Antigua. So one of the daughters were actually live this morning, and basically bashing her sister because she's saying there was no plan to take their mom out of Dominica. Yes, she's an alcoholic, and yes, they want her with them, but there needs to be a plan because in Antigua they both have full time jobs. Like when you take her out and you bring her to Antigua, who's going to take care of her? So one sister was on live and she was like, my sister didn't have any plan to have mom up here in Antigua. No, I have to be taking care of her. No, we have to try to get her to rehab. So they were going back and forth on live today, with that whole trying to figure out how they're going to solve that problem having their mother.
And they're
Also,
doing it on social media.
and they were
And they're
live
doing
on
on
Facebook.
social. You see, so it's happening. Like it is
Mhm.
a lot.
Yeah.
It is a lot. Like where do we draw the line? I want to go to the. Let me just hit the chat up a bit because folks are commenting. So I think Asata is saying it's because so many secrets in families, they continue to think it's okay to do harm to each other. I guess she was commenting on the Russell
Yeah.
situation.
Mhm.
Dee is saying that this is because she posted her mom on Father's Day and his fans were bashing her. And she was like, why don't I have a father? Why don't I have a father? Why don't I have a father? I've tried to reach out to him to explain what's going on. He screams while he speaks to her. It gives her anxiety. She was tired. I get that. Tima is saying they're going on Real Housewives, so want to start with a begging storyline. Hmm. So
Hmm.
you see how celebrities deal with certain things. D saying again, I would never. Sandra saying people now have no respect for people's privacy or feelings. They use social media to vent and say whatever they want. Beverly, who gave us some really good advice early on when we were talking about friendships, is chiming in, and she says people need to be taught boundaries. There's a place and time for
For everything.
everything,
Yeah.
right? And I honestly like Sandra is saying people have no respect for privacy. Yeah, and they use, yeah. I did read Sandra's comments, but on a real, like people, and it's, I've seen I another incident where two sisters were cussing each other off on social media. One was saying one thing, one was saying like we think. I've been told that people know my life because I'm on social media,
No, they don't.
and I'm like, bro, y'all like, bro,
Same.
like y'all don't
They
Like,
just
even
do it. They
know.
think they know, but they
like
Like,
they
don't.
do not even get it. Like we show you what we
That's
want
it.
you to see.
You choose what you want
it's
people to
not
know
even a
of you.
third. It's
There's a
not a
difference.
quarter. It's not half. It's
It's
not
If I drop
nowhere close that number.
literally.
the
Like,
sad thing though in all of this is that, especially in the age of reality TV, where this kind of drama is essentially entertainment, all this is serving, not just speaking about like Kimora and her and Russell Simmons. I'm just saying generally, people, the everyday person who is doing this, all you're doing is you're wasting energy and you're becoming entertainment for other people. They do not care about you. They
mhm,
they value you in only in the realm of, well, how much more of this drama can you provide for me, no matter how serious the situation is. And that
mhm,
does nothing for your mental health at the end of the day, because in addition to the crap you're dealing with and venting about to the marriage and the parish, you now have people who all have an opinion and have something to say negative about you and this and the other. And it's
mhm.
just, it takes away from you. It's not
Ali,
healthy.
Ali, who's on YouTube, is saying, who's watching us through via YouTube. Yes, big up to the YouTube viewers. Thank you very much for tuning in. Saying, I feel you, JL. I'm trying to keep a lid on my 6-year-old, and it's hard. She's also adding that people need to go to therapy and keep us out. Like honest to God, like I think that we need, from my perspective, I'm gonna say this. I want the old school, keep your family business in your family. Like people don't need to, everybody don't need to know your business.
They
Like
don't.
everybody don't need to know that you and your siblings not getting along, or
Mhm.
you having a difficult time figuring out how to take care of your grandmother or your mother, or you having a father that's probably verbally abusive and it's causing you anxiety. Like we don't need to know this.
We
Like
do
we
not.
honestly don't, because and if you're going to tell it to us in a way that it can serve us to learn from it, and not for entertainment. Like I'm not good.
That's
I
it.
don't want to be entertained by your pain. You understand
That's
what I'm
it.
saying? And
Yeah.
I don't think, like I consider it like it's like we feeding off of people's trauma. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need that energy. If you're gonna tell me the story, like recently too, there was a situation where a husband and their wife, they were going through a divorce, or a separation, and the husband was going off on social media and whatever. And I actually chimed in and got fired for it. People were under cussing me under the thing, cussing me, and I'm like, I don't care. I don't give two rats ass about what you guys think. I just feel like you don't need to be like, people do things. We do things in the heat of the moment, not realizing that this is going to be on social media forever.
Even if you delete it
Like
from your page,
like
it's
your
out
your
there.
children, your grandchildren going to see it, and by then when everybody will be moving like they're gonna be like, what was daddy thinking? Like like we need to stop this nonsense. Like there needs to be we need to keep our family thing
Personal.
in
Keep it,
personal,
keep it
See,
at
people
home.
forget
unless
that.
Keep it
unless
at
it's going
home.
to serve us as a learning. So if you're gonna be giving us information and you're trying to say, this is what I was going through, this is what I did,
This is what I
and this
did.
is how
Right.
and this is
So I
how
I
I was able to learn from
move
this
on. Hmm.
experience, and this is how I move on, and you're giving it to me in a way that it can help me to grow, or
Yeah.
me to be, then that's different, that you're
Yeah.
actually teaching me something. But I don't want to know I don't want to know
The
about your dirty
other thing
laundry.
to this though is that we have, I mean, when you, again, I keep saying like this, I feel like there's a relationship or connection somehow between what we're seeing, not just like like reality drama, but also like a lot of social media drama. I think some people as well, they like that kind of attention, unfortunately. But when that is the kind of attention like that you are receiving, where it's surrounding drama, as you rightly said earlier, like what is this doing for you at the end of the day? Like I think back to shows like Love and Hip Hop and that sort of thing, where you know a lot of what kept these people on these shows was the drama that surrounded them,
Mm-hmm,
right? And
mm-hmm.
sometimes it played out on the show, and sometimes it played out on social media, and that kind of drama is what kept them on like each season. And I feel
They,
like somehow we like there's not we some people associate
They glorify it.
drama with popularity as well, but it's negative attention at the end of the day. How is that serving you? How is that resolving your
they
problem?
On
always
How is
that
that
note
resolving
though, on that
anything for you
note,
mentally, emotionally, any
if
of
you're
those
being
things?
abused, on that note, if you're being abused, if you're being harmed, and
There
you
are
feel like
authorities. Authorities
you
exist
feel
for a
like
reason.
social media is the only outlet for you to
it's
come on,
not.
it's not.
It's not.
Okay,
That's a bigger
it's
problem.
not. It's not. So don't think that social media is going to be the place for you to come and tell the world that you're being abused. I'm not saying that your story cannot be told, right? But it's not the place.
It should not be the
There's
first
help. Get
outlet.
help. It
Yes.
should not be it should
First.
not be where you come and we say in Creole, Davy Day. Like it should not be the place where you come and empty out and pour out your heart and soul. There are people who get paid to do this for a living to help you sort through your life. There are people who can help, actually
They've gone
genuinely
to
help
school
you.
for years.
And hello, right? Like
Got
that's
multiple
my two
degrees.
cents. That's my 2 cents. I mean, that's
Agreed.
my 2 cents on this.
I
Um,
agree. I agree.
you could probably say just that's my on this. We're moving on because we got lots to talk about and we want to touch on as much as we can. And one of the things that we wanted to talk a little bit on, we've spoken about such serious and hot, heated, heated conversations, but there's been something going around a lot, and we were having a conversation in our chat, in our own little chat about threesomes, and whether or
We were.
not but we were, yeah, in our chat we were, look at you. I don't like the
Don't
chat.
lie.
Yeah. We
about
were.
about threesomes, right?
Mm.
And some people were saying, okay, so the question is, I'm gonna put the question out there. um if your partner asks you to have a threesome on a special occasion, yay or nay? So just drop yay or nay in the chat, let us
If
know.
your if your
Partner
partner asks for a
asks a
threesome
threesome,
on a
as
special
on a
occasion,
special occasion. So it could be Valentine's, it could be birthday, it could be anniversary, it could be, I just got like my butt done and I want to Like, whatever the special occasion is, yay or nay. I'm not gonna give my 2 cents yet because because I think I'm the most not modest of the group. So I might give my ratchet response, but you'd be surprised who more ratchet.
Yeah. Partner and partner would have to be somewhere in Bali, somewhere in the Middle Eastern, like Indonesia, and yeah, probably I might take the chance. I'm not gonna lie, I might take the chance. But we might have to restrict that to some toys, strictly toys. It
That's
has
not
to
I
be
don't
freedom.
I don't understand that.
it has to be creative because of course we're in a foreign country, like it's a stranger. We might have to make it a little more interesting, if, like strictly toys and not
So you're
actually.
so you're saying you would if it was a stranger. That's essentially what you're saying.
I would if it was a stranger very far. Like we're not doing this anywhere close by. Hell no. It has to be. I don't have to ever see you again. Like my man cannot see. We don't have to know you. Like there's no way we would be able to. No, we're not doing that. Stranger somewhere far, toys, something.
But
I might indulge.
my concern with the stranger is that, I mean, what if the stranger have a gift? You know, carrying something like you will never see the person again. You never know. Like, I mean, like, would it be better if it was with somebody you knew that you could look at?
There are pros and cons to
Recall,
both of those, whether someone you
recall
know
ya.
or if it's a stranger.
No,
But
no, 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 no. Indonesia. Let's go to Indonesia. Some special occasion in Indonesia. Yeah. Not I don't know. Not somebody I know. Ugh.
Recall ya.
Recall you.
so I
Aren't
actually
you
had
laughing? And you're laughing.
I actually
I
had
love
a
you
counter
see the vein coming up in the middle of my yeah, go ahead.
My counter question was, why is it that it had to be him asking for it? So what if, it was something that I wanted?
So wait. So you're saying that
That's what she's saying.
so you're saying
Sorry, I was like, that's what she said.
That is exactly what she's saying, Jael. Yes.
okay. So you're saying that you would want to be the one to suggest it.
Or she could be the one.
It's
Not
not
one
it's
to
not like
one.
I have to be the one that
She could
suggests
be
it.
the
It just
one.
means that, yeah, it should not, for me it's a matter of um he probably would not be the only one that is asking for it. It could also be a situation where it's something that both of us want.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not necessarily like a, well, can we do this
So all you're
situation.
saying that above all you're saying that all you'll do it if all you have given the opportunity.
And the
One
right
saying if they
circumstances and the right.
talk to
It's
that
a
they would.
possibility. It's a possibility that it's something that I may agree to.
Yes.
It's
Once
a
there are
possibility
certain,
that,
for me,
yeah.
generally when it comes to these things, even okay, first if I want to answer that specific question, I would say it has to be something that both parties want, right? It's very difficult to, especially if you're in a monogamous relationship, I think it's very difficult for people to agree to something like that and I'm going along with it if it's something that they never wanted in the first place, but they're trying to satisfy someone else. I think that could lead to problems down the road. Right. So it has to be something that both parties are very comfortable with and are open to versus, well, he asked me to do this. I don't want to do this, but I want to keep him. So I'll go along with it. For
No.
and
me
and, and you
personally,
know and like Ray J and Princess Love had
yeah,
that situation
there you
where she
go.
said she was doing it because you know
She wanted to
she
please
wanted to
him. Right. And some people think, I don't want to say women or men, some people think when you start doing things in the bedroom to please the other party, something that you're not 100% on, that could really lead to problems down the line because you're
No.
now committing yourself to things that you are not comfortable with.
Well,
Versus if this is
if
something both parties are open to, and it's not just being open to it, but also having a lot of communication, a lot of uh, uh, I wouldn't just say boundaries, but just
Yeah,
parameters
you
around
need to have
certain things,
boundaries. You need
fine.
to have
Yeah.
boundaries.
Boundaries
You
on certain
need
things,
to
the
have
parameters around
discussions
certain
on
things
it.
to ensure that we are both enjoying this, but understand this is what this is. This is not an invitation to cheat. It's not an invitation to do things without me. This is something that we are both doing together. This and yeah, that's what I'm saying. But coming back to my original points, I don't think it's something that only he has to ask for. But that's just my 2 cents. Take that as you will.
Go ahead.
If okay, so if we had to go a little deeper, okay, how do I rephrase this? I am not going to agree to a threesome if it's something that we have to, if it's something that you want planned. If it's something that's planned and you actually
So you
want
want a spontaneous one
we're
where
not
you out
sitting,
drinking and you're
yes,
like, wait, babe, and
it's
you're like,
very good. But I'm not going to sit around the table or in the room with my man and we plan a threesome. Like, no, it's not gonna happen. It's a big no
but
for me.
you don't have to plan a threesome. You can discuss things that would excite you in your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And if that comes up, then you need to set boundaries in that situation.
No,
Been
well, for
there.
me, it
I'm
has to be
talking about
spontaneous. It has to be
been
spontaneous.
there, done that. The spontaneity of things can
Yeah.
get you in a lot of
A lot of
trouble
trouble. Yeah. Because there's
because
no communication up front.
everybody
It's a
can
free for
have their
all.
agenda,
It's a free for all.
including the other person.
Yep. Yep.
Including the other person. So you might be thinking, oh, spontaneous me when she watching your man whole night.
Girl, we in Indonesia and we leave in Indonesia next morning. We leave it.
I know people, male order bride. I know people who've paid to. Girl, you
We
don't
are
mess in 2023
we leave in
where people
Indonesia
catching
next
flights and
morning.
feelings.
What's the
Like
point
you,
of traveling back?
I think though, honestly, like my personal people have to feel secure in their
Yes.
relationships,
Yes.
and if you feel like there's certain things or elements that can be added to spice up your relationship, I think this is a discussion that you have to have with your partner. I think
Boy.
this is something that has to be understood. I think it has to be respected. I also think that the third person also has to respect their role in this, you know. I think especially the men, no shit on the men, because sometimes the girl come there and the girl probably doing something better than you, and I mean you might lose
Or
some
man.
points.
Or
or
man.
man
Let's
or
not
man
do
might
Oh
do
man.
something or man might be doing something better than you, and you might be feeling like, like, oh my god, look, I about to lose my man. Y'all need to
Yikes.
communicate, or am I man about to lose me? Y'all need to
Yikes.
communicate about this as somebody um who's aware of the dynamics of including somebody in a relationship. I think you guys, like, if you're gonna do this, that my 2 cents, if you're gonna do this, you have to be sure that this is something that you both want and you're not doing it to please the person.
Agreed.
This is something that you both understand where your boundaries are. This is something that it could become a permanent situation. I mean, again, you have to have a discussion with your partner about these things. And too many times as women, and I'm going to talk from a woman's perspective because I'm a woman, we tend to want to please our men, and we do certain things because we want to please them, and we're not, that's not for us. If it's not for you, my girls,
Stay
don't do
away
it.
from it. Don't
And
do
you
Say
it.
you
resent
don't
it.
want to do
Do
it,
not
and
continue.
you will resent not just it, the relationship. You
Yep.
resent the relationship, you resent your partner, you feel like it can really crush your self-esteem, right?
Especially
uh,
if you start to realize that he's the one that is asking for things that you may
Initiating.
not be
Yeah.
comfortable with, and at no point is he saying, okay, well, we had this threesome, this is something that I asked for, and you oblige. What is something that you want, to spice things up? If it ends up being, or continuously starts being, at this one-way street of him continuously, or her continuously introducing things into the bedroom that you are not comfortable with, and it's not a two-way street, or it's not reciprocal in terms of trying to understand your needs and your desires as well, that's an immediate red flag.
In the
Right.
comments, Beverly is saying, who gave us some really good advice. I can't help but pull out her comments again because we want to. This is a show for all and for everyone. We want everybody to feel comfortable that this is a place that they can come and hear about things. And some things might not be up your alley, and you might be like, you'll be like, boy, that conversation too hot for me, and you might want to drop off. We completely understand, but we have to take all our viewers into consideration. She says that it's an invitation to cheat. You are creating a bond, soul ties. What's your perspective on that?
I
I'm gonna
personally,
continue. I'm
so
gonna
the,
continue with some of the other comments. You can discuss who you want to do it with. It may or may not happen right away, but it can happen with this specific individual. So that is, I think, was answering to the fact that you Stelina was talking about the spontaneity of the situation. Um, somebody else is saying, before I get water guns in my WhatsApp chat, I'm not asking the man for that, Papa.
Sorry, I almost
oh
choked.
God.
Oh my gosh. So I think okay, so I just want to preface everything I said previously, my 2 cents on all of this, and everything I'm going to continue saying on this topic until we move on. I don't think that there's a very hard and fast rule for how to approach this. So how I may approach this in my relationship, if I decide to do that, may not work for Stelina, may not work for Jael, may not work for anyone else in the group in this conversation. Um, and it works in the opposite direction, like if someone decides that they don't want to embark on something like that, and their relationship goes on with no issues, it can go in either direction. So I think it's not really a matter of saying, well, if I do this is how you have to do it. My only stipulation, I think, is generally that there needs to be a lot of communication, and ultimately, when we're talking about inviting other people into the bedroom, it has to be a situation where both parties are on board, and how both parties view sex as well. Sex, love, sexuality, and all of that. And different people have different views on how they view sex, how they value sex.
True.
Um, if you have one person in the relationship that views sex as having that very specific bond with that other person, yet the other person in the relationship doesn't really view sex that way, I can see that causing some friction later down the line. If both parties, for example, are a lot have more, I don't know, free, like a freer version, or they are a lot more liberal, I should say, with how they view sex, that, and again, if communication is plays a large role, I can see how having a threesome, or an orgy, or whatever the case may be, they may be more open to it. So people's values and how they view sex and sexuality is different, and the way you may see it may not be the way I see it, and vice versa.
I'm going
So
to stand my ground on the entire thing being based off of being spontaneous. That's the only way I'm going to agree and conform to a threesome. It has to be on some spontaneous level. There'll be no discussions within our bedrooms about it. No. Spontaneous, I might have to say yes.
You might have to say yes,
my
eh?
I am going yes, spontaneous, yeah. But you
So
know,
yay for if it's spontaneous, nay
yay.
if it's not.
Very correct.
Recall, yeah, so you're a yay, right? You're a
yeah,
yay,
I'm
right?
open to it. Yeah.
Guys on the chat, I'm heading back to the chat to see yay or nay. Ashma, girl, leave me alone. I don't know what Ashma's. Boy, let me tell you, they're having
I think there's
conversations.
a conversation happening within the conversation.
There's a conversation happening within the conversation, right? Personally, me, I am for whatever makes everybody happy. Like, I am one that
You're part of that
would.
everybody, right?
What happened?
You're part of that everybody, right?
But of course,
You're speaking as if like you're separate from
if
this.
every when I say everybody, like if I'm okay with it, he's okay with it, the other person's okay with it, then I don't see what the problem is. I think everybody grown, as long as I will be sure that the people that mean the world to me, that I communicate with
Yep,
them, and they
I agree.
understand my feelings in this. They
Yeah,
know what my boundaries are.
Yep.
they know what my expectations are, and
Yeah.
once they're clear on that,
Hmm.
like I will have no worries whatsoever once they're clear on that. And I think God has blessed me with a really cool person that is that for the most part gets me, for the most part. I mean, sometimes he
Yeah,
doesn't, but most men don't. So it's like if that's for the most part he gets me,
that's
I
a
can live
plus.
with that. I can live
Yeah.
with that, and is willing to talk about these things and have these kinds of conversations, because it can be very uncomfortable for Caribbean men,
Yeah.
especially to have conversations on these things, because they would feel like it's probably easier for them to cheat with somebody else than to ask, is it okay? And sometimes we might say it's an excuse for cheating and whatever, and I don't believe that. I personally
Right.
don't believe it's an excuse for cheating.
Agree.
And I feel like if I'm okay with it, why not?
Yeah.
You know, why not?
I also think, and coming back to what I said about how people view sex and sexuality differently as well, some people assume that if you bring someone else into the mix, it means that your partner is going to want to continue with them and that sort of thing. There is that possibility, yes, but
But there
I
was
think
always that possibility.
whether you knew or not. But beyond that, I think what some
You know,
people, when it comes to women especially, some people think that all women are the same when it comes to, well, if she has sex with this man, she'll want to be with him. There are a lot
mhm.
of women who, you know, when it comes to physicality, if they want sex, they want sex, and they're good to keep it pushing.
Mhm.
So if, let's
Mhm.
say she comes into the bedroom, she's the third party in the bedroom, she's attracted to the boyfriend and girlfriend, she wants to get hers, and she can keep it pushing. It doesn't always
Exactly.
mean that the minute
Exactly.
your man or your woman penetrates someone else, that's a relationship there that they want, and they want to be with that person for the rest of their lives. There are some people who are very good with and can have sexual relationships without catching feelings. Like, that is a real possibility that I think, for women specifically, I'm speaking about. I think a lot of people don't realize that that is a possibility as well.
Definitely. Definitely. All right, that's my 2 cents on this. This is my back scratcher.
Lord.
I can't reach, so I got a back scratcher.
Why she scratch her back, I scratch my head. That's crazy.
Yeah, like I have this one spot on my back, this one spot, and I swear I keep asking people, "Is there something there?" There's nothing there. I think it's like an internal itch. Every now and again, that's one spot itches, and sometimes I just can't. Like you'll see me doing this, and you'll be wondering, "But why Jael wiggling like a
From
worm
the
like that?"
line in your back.
Yeah, so I just want to just scratch my back. Speaking of, I mean, while we're on the topic of relationship, we want to drop one final comment, or one final piece of 2 cents on relationships, especially as it relates to the married couples, because we talk about relationships and we talk about um threesomes and then some and all of that other stuff. But if you and somebody were in a committed relationship, whether you guys were married or not, but living together, what is your take on having separate rooms?
No,
Like
Let
right
her
now,
finish.
no, no, and no. What was
I
your
don't like
question,
vagina.
Joe?
I mean, if you think about the olden days, like the royalty days, the man slept in the different room. That was mostly like um encouraged or brought about because people lived in small houses, slavery, and they slept in the same common space. I mean, those bourgeoisies used to sleep in two separate rooms, and when they're ready for their thing, they come together and they make it work. What is your take on because now I've seen like a lot of couples. I followed some couples on TikTok are like really talking about how spicy their relationships have become, introducing the fact that they can now have their separate rooms, and then at some point, like they say, Wednesday, it's your time to come in, and they knock on the door. And I mean, it can be pretty
Woo!
exciting. Look at
I
Steph.
mean, I can get where they're coming from. If we're doing something like that, okay, we're playing a game, or we're trying to keep the relationship spicy, we're trying to keep it fun. Okay,
Ash
we're
must say,
playing
Ash must say if you want a roommate, just say that.
like yeah.
I mean,
If
she
we're
ain't
playing a
lying.
game, let's play a game. We can play a game for a week, and
For
we
a
try.
week. But
Well,
let me tell
and
you,
we're
on a real though, I'll give you like my honest. I'll go first with my 2 cents on that one.
mm-hmm.
I would not mind doing the two separate room thing because some days I get home, I just want to lie down on my bed and open my legs wide and don't have to worry about feeling nobody next to me.
Yeah,
Get a
yeah,
king size bed.
yeah.
Even if a king size bed, like you feel the person move, like you just don't want to, like you don't want to feel. I mean, it's not a regular thing, but they're just days when you just want to. I mean, come on, guys. If you're in the chat, like tell me y'all not feeling the same way sometimes.
Baby, who in the chat feeling like that? Who in
I
the
want to
chat
know.
feels like this?
Chill, I think you're on your own with this one.
Just be on your phone.
You telling me that you don't want to just lie down, nobody to touch your boom boom,
Yeah.
nobody to touch, and you by
Well,
yourself on your bed. How about when you're in the time of them? When I'm on the time of my mom, leave me alone.
no,
Tell my
baby,
mom
I
that's
want to be
different.
on you,
But I
baby.
mean,
I
like, he
want to be
respects
on
that.
you. I want to be on you. I want to stretch on you. I want you under me. I want like
Exactly. Yeah, I need that connection.
no. Mm-mm. No, I
Also,
want to
maybe
lie
it
on
has to do
my
with me.
man.
Like, I have lived on my own. Like, I have not lived with my partner. So the times when he and I spend together, like, I like that connection. And I have lived with when I did have a partner years ago that I lived with, and I never got tired of sleeping with him. So I've been like on both sides of it, is what I'm trying to say. I've been where I've lived with a
I'm not saying
partner,
you're getting
and my
tired of
current
sleep.
partner, we
I'm
don't
not
live
saying
together,
tired of
but
sleeping with the person. I'm just saying that wanting your own bed for yourself.
no,
No.
I know, if we have that connection, to me, it's like part and parcel of it. I'm sorry, no.
No.
Tammy's saying I'm literally running like a butterfly.
No, 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 no.
The only time I would say, like, kind of keep it to yourself is, as you did mention, like those first couple of days leading up to that time of the month. I don't want anyone touching. I feel really weird and icky. Like
Also,
everything
so you
goes.
don't want somebody touching you, but that doesn't include not sleeping with you on the same bed.
No, there's a
Wait,
difference between like touch, like cuddling, and wanting another kind of touch. That kind of
no.
touch, keep it. No, those
On
first
my
couple days before and flow reaches, keep that to yourself. But I don't mind like cuddling and you playing big spoon, I play little spoon. Like I want that
oh,
connection with
of
you.
Okay,
course.
here's somebody saying something in the chat that I think is so super important because I actually know somebody like that.
Uh
Let
huh.
me hear.
She says that I know of a couple who's been married for years and most times they sleep in separate rooms because of their shifts and they don't want to disturb each other. So
That's
they
fair.
sleep in separate rooms, and when it's time to get the whoopee on or the nookie on, they. But I would like that. I think that because it's
That's fair. That's. I mean, I
like
could understand that.
you come into me, like my dog,
Look your yeah. Mm-mm.
baby, you ready now?
Oh,
That
baby,
Nobody
I'm
not
is
touch
ready.
rigid. No, that doesn't seem natural to me. Like you just kind of build up a little spice and that sort of thing. Like that seems like knock knock, you ready? Nah.
No, no, no. Sep, you can have. I don't care what shift you have. You can be coming home at 3 a.m. and I'm in bed by 11 p.m. I want to know you're home. I want to know you taking your nice shower, and I want to know you're joining me in our bed.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how I feel. You're joining me in our bed, and then I'll
I
cuddle up
think
all of
I think I've lived away for too long. Because
probably.
listen, I just miss my bed. I just miss my bed. I just miss my bed.
Mm.
I just seriously miss my bed. It's not like, and it's not that I don't love him or
No, I
I
don't
don't
think
love
no, I
him.
don't I don't think
Oh,
I
anyone's
just,
doubting that. I
I
think
just,
it's space.
Maggie's saying she's with me on this. She's with me on this.
Maggie,
So some women are with me on this, like sometimes you just honestly want your own little space. I
You know
cannot
what?
imagine spending 50 years with somebody and I sleeping on the same bed with them for 50 years.
You know, my
Bro,
mom actually shares that sentiment. My mom told me that, if she were to, well, she's single, but she's like, if she were to ever be with another man or shack up with another man and all of that, she's like, she wants a separate bed and bedroom, and you can
I
come
like
to
that
me.
idea.
And I used to actually watch her like, are you crazy? Like, what's the point?
I
What's the point?
do.
She's like, no, I want my space so I can do whatever I want. I want to just relax and chill out in my own space, and you could chill
That's
out
I
in
what
can
yours
the
if you
also
living
want.
room is for. Like, use
no,
the
I can
living
also fix
room.
my room. Imagine your own closet. It's yours
That's
I never
fine.
alone.
understood
What
it.
a
I
I
never
walk-in
I
understood it. I'm
closet.
like, what's the point then? What is the point? You guys are just literal like housemates. But
no, it's
No, I'm
not
not doing
teach his
that.
housemates.
own. Teach his
It's not
own.
housemates because you both have your own individual bank account, so you both can have your own individual room,
That's
right?
different. Like I feel like
Right. And when
sleeping
it's time to
and
come
together is a bit
together,
more
like for the
intimate than
mortgage,
that.
when it's time to come together, like for the mortgage, you come together.
I feel like those are like
Oh, so
these are the more intimate things that help build a connection.
oh my God.
Sammy Prince on you to be saying, but if baby tired, he tired and good a bed, asleep, sweet. We trust me. Listen, when you're tired, like I think I've never been in that situation where my partner works late and comes in after the fact. But I've been in the situation where I would work late into the night. And he don't have a problem with it. Like he like me to wake him up when I'm on my thing. So I will like wake him up and say, yes. But when the tables are turned, I do not like to be woken up.
You see, you have to be fair, Jill. You have to know it's
I
50.
don't like
You
to
have
be
to be fair.
I don't like to be woken up. I
You have
feel
to
like
be
I am
fair.
so selfish
No,
when it comes
I'll
to
agree with
this.
you on that one. I've gotten woken up sometimes in the middle of the night. And I'm
And
like,
I don't like
I
in
am
the
not
morning.
I'm not a morning person. I
Stay
am not.
far
I don't like to
from
be woken.
me.
I like to be woken in the middle of the night. I know probably movies. That's probably cute and sexy and all of that. No, but keep that. I get I get very bitchy when I'm like woken out to sleep, especially if I'm woken out to sleep for,
Yes.
like if I'm in deep sleep and then next thing you know, it's like, hey, yep,
Pokey
like that'll
pokey.
turn me off. So that is like the one like boundary I'll give you in that one. I'll give you that.
The comments are fired
Well,
up. The
no,
comments
no.
fired up.
I
I
want to
don't
see.
even know what they're saying. But someone is saying, trust, I love my bed, I love my boo, but I'm telling you, I need my space to watch my TV in peace most times. When we're ready, you see, it's not
It's
just
Go
not
in the
just you.
living room.
I
Go
think
in
a
your
lot of
living
women
room.
want to say
I think
it,
people forget there's
but
a
they
whole living
don't
room,
know how to say
Go
it.
in the living
So
room.
There's
That's
a
what
whole
your
living room
living
that
room is
exists.
she
for.
said, you know what she said? When we're ready for our thing, we get into it in the bed, we cuddle, etc. But after giving, I am completely, and but you know what I don't like the most? I don't like body heat because I need to feel cool to sleep. So we might
I'm
fall
just like,
asleep.
no, stop
You might like after you do the nuki,
They are
like
stressing
you
me
in
out,
a
guys.
you in a
They are
thing.
stressing me out.
I'm just like, go away
No,
a
all
little
right. Well,
while
when you're
because I
done, you
can
can be on
feel
your
you
side and be on my
radiating.
side. We could
I
cool down.
Jael is stressing me out. I'm stressed out. Like I'm stressed out. I am stressed. Like what? Go.
stay a little. That heat, like I
That is the
cannot.
point.
What heat, Jael?
That's the
What heat? Like
reason.
what heat? There's no heat. Like you cuddle.
The,
Like when you finish, you cuddle and that's it.
your man
That
doesn't
is
sweat,
the
man.
that is the that is like the
Your man
heat.
doesn't sweat.
Not
Let me
really.
tell you.
That's the
Oh no.
energy. That's the
Mm-mm.
energy. You know
And
you
and
do
No.
girl,
something right if you get
girlfriend
all that
doesn't
heat
sweat.
off of it.
You have a towel.
I'm stressed.
You like and one jump on your for a pow. You like
I'm I'm stressed out. No.
That's a sign of a good workout. All right. So when you're done finishing the gym, when you're not finishing the gym,
I'm
you
dead.
dry.
I'm dead.
You know you got a good
Exactly.
workout in.
Sign
I'm
up for
dead.
video.
Take a little water, bring it down, bring down your little heat,
And
cool
when
down.
you too hot, you've gotten too hot. You need to stay
I
on
feel
your
like
side of
if
the
you're
bed.
studying the heat more than the action, something is wrong. That's like the
No,
last
it's
thing
not
on my mind.
I don't
no,
know
no, no,
what's
no,
going
no.
on in
I don't
jail
know. I
today.
don't mind the heat.
Not so much,
I don't
I'm
mind the
not
heat.
understanding
It's
what's
just
going on.
that. It's just
Last thing
that.
on my mind is how hot I am.
It's just that sometimes the heat doesn't cool down fast like you. You might cool down and the person's still hot. And you there trying to cool down. Because for me to fall asleep, my body temperature needs to be cool. Like I need to
Jail.
Yeah, but
for
you're not
me to
gonna fall asleep
sleep.
like
Jail.
30
When
seconds
you
after.
when you're finished, you do the little cuddling. After when you guys are done, you cuddle for a second. You don't have sleep on your mind at this time. Like there's no
Yeah.
sleep. We're cuddling.
I'm not
No,
trying
no,
to catch
no, no,
some
no.
rest.
After you have cuddled, you get up, you go take a shower, and you go to sleep.
Go take a shower every time before I come to bed taking a shower.
Selena so high maintenance.
You go wash up, you go cool on yourself, you mean to tell me. You want
Yo, guys, this
No,
is
no,
our
no.
time. That's it. That's it.
I'm stressed. I'm totally stressed.
Oh my
I'm
god.
totally stressed.
Oh my
Oh
god. I
my.
am not about my life.
Bottom line is
Put on the
we're
fan
not
and cuddle.
sleeping in separate rooms.
Nah,
That's the
nah.
bottom
You stay
line.
right there. You stay
No.
right there.
Let me tell you.
I'm not going anywhere. You stay right there.
I'm giving you till 2025. Right? So I'm giving you till 2025. When bed gonna stop making king size beds and it'll only make twins. So
I
Or
only
you know what? Or just
I
do
only
a
twin
bunk bed.
bed.
Do a bunk bed. You do.
no, it don't have to
And
be a
you go
bunk.
down and you stay up.
No.
Might
A
as well.
king bed is two twin. So you
I know.
just cut it.
But I'm
and
saying
you put
if
it.
you
You
get a
never go
bunk
to
bed,
those hotels where they put
Yeah.
the two of them together and you end up
Yeah.
in the middle.
in
what
the
I'm
middle,
saying is
polygon
get a
in the
bunk
middle.
bed.
Separate that. Separate that bed,
Nope.
and you sleeping on your side of the room. I sleep on my side of the room,
Nope.
and we good. We don't
We
need
get
no
a bunk
fan.
bed.
We don't need no AC. We don't need nothing.
Mm-mm.
I want to be on a separate end. I want to be in a separate room.
That's much
I'm going to
energy.
listen, I'm
That's
gonna
what you
get
have
so
to
much.
sacrifice
I'm gonna get
energy.
so much flack for
Pass
this
out.
tonight. I'm gonna get so much flack for this tonight. I gonna be in the doghouse for the next couple of days. I going to be in the doghouse for the next couple of days.
Like, and
All
you
right.
want to sleep by yourself? Go sleep by
Yes,
yourself.
that's it. That's our time, guys. We've been happy to spend time with y'all today. We hope you guys enjoyed the show. I'm so sorry that Ethan could not stay on with us permanently because, as you know, he was having technical difficulties. But we're gonna bring him on another time. Hopefully, service gets better over the next couple of days. I hope that you people stay safe. Those of you in Dominica, St. Lucia, Barbados, be safe out there. Make sure you have your emergency kit. I know the storm is supposed to start over the course of this evening, and we don't want to hear any casualties or deaths or any of that stuff, especially if you're a fan. More so if you're a fan and we know you. So we just want to send some prayers, your way, and wish that you guys have passed this storm and the storm going to do business. In other words, the storm going to do business, right? We're not about that life. We can't afford. We cannot afford a hurricane.
No, we can't.
Okay?
Guys, be safe, guys.
My prayers are with everyone from now till November.
We can't afford another hurricane. I don't want no hurricane. That shit gives me too much damn anxiety.
Yeah.
I just want to encourage you guys. Thank you guys. Those of you on YouTube who came on, thank you very much. They were really enjoying this show. Those of you on Facebook, thank you very much. Thank you for sharing the love on Facebook. And I hope you guys shared, all of you. If all of you who came on the live today shared this link with somebody, let's see your hands up. Let's see you put your hands up for us. But we want to say thank you very much for coming on and spending your Thursday night with us. We really appreciate you, right, ladies?
Yes, we
do,
love you
we
guys.
do. Thank you. Thank you all. Next Thursday.
Bye.
Yes, next
So, come
Thursday
on.
we'll be back. Same time, right?
Same time, same place.
Same time. Same time.
They're just checking her. Give us Luke, Selena.
I feel one more like this.
Selena, done. It's done. We done. We're at the end. We're at the end now.
She going out. She going in a separate room.
Never. Never.
Bye guys.
See you guys.